I will recast myself and find those places where I ran amok and amud in childhood. I shall walk the quiet lanes and paths that break down into a tangle of yellow ochre before reforming with one accord. I'll trek and tread until my body falls into a loose-limbed swagger, negotiating lumps and bumps with 100 forgotten internal springs, while eating miles whose effort only counts on stopping.
Oh, so there's a tree bumblebee. Oh dear, you're not very happy. Hello, you alright? Let's put you on the flower and you can decide what you're going to do rather than getting squashed. Yeah, go on. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Oh no. Yay! The journey from home to the studio is actually an important part of my working because I feel that space between home and work is quite important. You're experiencing life out there and you don't know what you're going to see next. At the weekends, usually the guys come down and they basically do the street art and it changes. I love this. I think it's really well painted too. Really works really well. But I quite like that nature of that surprise, that you never know what you're going to see. But it's just there for a fleeting moment. Although it is urban, there's a huge amount of little pockets of nature around us, isn't there? And that's the nice thing about this walk, isn't it? Ever since, obviously, I had that accident, I've always had the feeling that the fact I can still walk and keep going, I do feel very fortunate. I was on the way to looking after an art exhibition and I was running late as usual. I looked one way, then I looked the other way, then I saw what I thought was my bus, so I stepped out and I got hit by a car, broke my tibia and fibula, had 7 operations. What I can never forget is the fact is that at one point the doctor said to me that the operation I had hadn't been available 5 years ago, and 5 years ago I would have lost my foot. Those words always sort of stayed with me, I think. Yay! So here we come into the allotment section. Ah, it's the peaceful section. Yeah, these have definitely changed. Oh wow, those leeks, they're fantastic. I like the idea of walking because I like this sense of just by your own power you actually get somewhere. It's my legs, I can still, you know, say what you still can. It's like this sense of like, yeah, I can go where I want because I can walk there. Oh, see more here. Walking does make you observe much more and you're also more connected to what you're seeing. You can hear things differently. Maybe it's because walking is a slower thing and we're so programmed to be there, get there, do this, do that, you know, all that pressures all the time. It's not about the pressure, is it? It's the walk itself.
Then I will see the ink on maps firsthand, the soft etchways that form criss-cross laughter lines and give our country character, have a chance encounter and greet a stranger when we two humans pass, uninhibited by tarmac.
Oh, sorry, I just spotted 2 deers. Let me see if I can get a close-up. Oh, it's gorgeous. It stems from a childhood thing where I've been walking for years and years. A lot of solo walking. You know, I was quite in touch with nature as a child, and that's how I got into it. You know, up to this day now, and it's always stayed with me. I'd like to support people I think that's what it was, you know, rather than put all my energy into myself, I'd like to share that with other people. Because I know walking does big favours for our well-being, so I just thought to myself, it would be a good idea if we could form a group, a walking group. I just wanted to share the energy, so we say the energy of nature with other women, to just to see how it makes them feel. And it's quite a lovely outcome. It's nice to see women smiling, or anyone smiling, but it's just nice to see people smiling, because then you know inside they can feel something good, what's actually making them smile. If I say like 45 people came, you would have at least 40 of them who's never walked in the countryside, because they're drivers, so they see it driving along the motorway, but they've never been in it, so it's quite new to them. They live in a city and they didn't realise what we've got on the outskirts. They're like, wow.
Or perhaps, as I stray, only a badger has padded this way, and traffic, faded out of importance, enables the relaxed warble of a confident song thrush, underscored by a raw bass of crows. Entering the hollow way, I stumble across a bumblebee foraging. A hoverfly hangs suspended by its magic, with a spell that binds me to the moment, and dark cool ferns stand as a backdrop to bright-eyed flowers that illuminate the trail.
Hill coming up, ladies. It's quite fascinating to see people of colour actually doing those kind of things. Doing like outdoor pursuits and that is very rare. And I think it's the fear, like I said, going into the unknown. Yeah, they don't feel they're going to be welcomed. And like in a predominantly white area, they seem to think like if they're going in there, all farmers are white, this is their way of thinking. It's not my way of thinking, because I've seen different. And they don't feel like they're going to be welcome walking on their land. Well, it's not like that. It's not like that. I've walked loads of places on my own and I get stared at. I get stared at. You know, and the reason, I said, you just look at why you're being stared at. It's not in a malicious way, because they don't see black people walking in these areas. And I think it's true, you know, like now it's a lot of white people approach me and say, hello, you having a good day? And I say, yeah, I am actually. It's broken down a lot of barriers. So the way I've encouraged them is I've done it. I've gone into places, filmed myself, and I put it up on social network and say, it's okay. It's okay, you know, to do this. And they came out more and more now. And I think it encourages other women who maybe suffer from a bit of social anxiety to actually come out. And, you know, we have women who hasn't been out for a whole year or 6 months, and they've been on every walk. They can't wait to come on the walks. And I think that's a wonderful thing.
My feet will scuff and mark the forgiving path, and add a memory of my passing, like hooves and shoes before me. Let Robin Goodfellow be my guide, and set before me the shadows of drovers and pilgrims, so that I see my own face reflected, worn in a different age-old way.
It's so pretty, isn't it? It is a really special place to me. I came here the other day to pick some wild flowers for my friend's funeral, and I got some of this purple stuff. And when I first moved to Kingswood, there's not a lot of, you know, it's just suburbia really. It's just like housing street after street. And then when I first found like this walk, it was like, whoa, it's like suddenly you're in this whole other world. And it came out of the blue and quite unexpected. And then I just stumble across all these other little beautiful nooks and crannies, and it's like, oh, I didn't know this existed. Coming out for my walks was such a hugely important part of keeping me feeling connected. As someone that lives by myself, there's something quite powerful about smiling to a stranger and getting a smile back. Do you know what I mean? You get that when you're going out walking. Some of those dog walkers are really special people to me now. I don't know any of them, their names or anything, but like, you know, I love seeing them in the morning, and like their dogs know who I am and come running over, and that's really nice. We all need human connection and stuff, and I think walking really helps with that. Hello. There's quite a lot of wild swimming that goes on down here as well. Picked a good day for it. I want to go in the water now. I live a life of sobriety these days, so walking has been a hugely important part of that journey for me, like staying spiritually well, which is part of what helps to keep me sober and stuff, and also it's just good fun. I love, you know, the fun aspects I get from walking. As somebody that is like in recovery from an addiction point of view, I had to hit a rock bottom through lots of different things that happened, but it was only by all of that stuff happening that I hit a level of desperation that meant that I just was willing to go in and embrace what I do now, which has given me a whole kind of different life than I would have ever expected. My whole journey about reconnecting with nature have kind of like re-engaged my creative spirit again. So I've just recently started playing in an orchestra. It's really nice to just be around other creative people. The start of my day, I always try and go walking at the start of my day. For me personally, I just find that starting my day with a walk, it just puts me in the right frame of mind. I mean, I do love doing different walks and stuff, but it's amazing how coming back to the same place, it's just kind of like you see the different seasons and it just kind of creates a different perspective on it. Watching the sunrise and seeing the whole city waking up is kind of a really beautiful thing. And again, just that helps that feeling of connection. You just get such a beautiful, clear view across the entire city. And I don't know, it just puts things into perspective up here a little bit, I think, making me sort of realise that we're all part of a much bigger thing.
My destination flags me now, the serpent path becoming Roman. Still, the scent of wild garlic follows, merging into the domestic fug. My tired legs meet paving with a shock of memory. Arriving, I emerge, a swimmer shaking off water, still soaked in my experience. Note the avenue trees that track my progress, and the brisk clouds have meaning as a strong wind blows over the ridgeway. Now I know. And so, when all is done, I say, friend, walk back with me.